Beloved soul traveler, welcome. Before you are 4 sacred piles, 4 gateways into the whispers of your bloodline. Tonight we step through the veil where the voices of your ancestors rise like smoke from an ancient fire. They have waited for this moment to remind you of the power that you carry and the magic that was never lost, only sleeping. Breathe in. Feel the thread of their love wrap around you. Choose the pile that calls to your spirit and let their message find its way into your heart. This reading is timeless, so if you have found yourself here now, it is because your ancestors are ready to speak. I want you to please remember that your ancestors are singing through your blood, and you are the living altar of their magic. I am so honored to be able to help you unlock their whispers. So we have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. So please take a moment to decide which one is right for you. I do have a spread here that I always use with my pick a cards so that I can stay on track. So just to let you know what kind of questions are going to be answered in today's video, we have the root, which means what is the origin or key theme of my family's spiritual or magical lineage. We have the hidden thread, which is what ancestral gift or magical ability has been passed down to me, consciously or unconsciously. The shadowed legacy, which is what ancestral wound or karmic pattern needs healing or alchemy through me. The torchbearer, how can I consciously honor and activate my magical inheritance in this lifetime? And the spirit's whisper, what message do my ancestors have for me right now? So there will be timestamps down below so that you can go right to the pile of your choosing. So let's begin. Okay, so pile number 1. For the first question of the root, what is the origin or key theme of your family's spiritual or magical lineage? So this card reveals the ancient core of your bloodline's esoteric energy. Think shamanic roots, priestess traditions, healing arts, or sacred rebellion. And for you, out of the Mystical Shaman's Oracle, I got the rainbow. The essence of this card is the rainbow symbolizes the 7 steps of a true spiritual path, which manifests as the colors of the 7 chakras. In the Himalayas, the rainbow body is seen as the full realization of our essence. The rainbow also represents the bridge between the physical and the spiritual worlds. At the end of our lives, we can journey across the rainbow bridge to the highest heavenly realms. When the rainbow appears, it is an affirmation that all is well and that you are in the right relationship with spirit. The invitation is the rainbow tells you that the end of the storm is near. Persevere and remember that it is darkest just before the dawn. Do not give up hope. Things are about to take a positive turn. Listen for the morning rooster that announces the coming of the dawn, even while the night is still darkest. But do not claim victory yet or let your guard down fully. And the medicine that comes with this card is don't get caught in pursuit of illusion of a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Find the treasure now in the moment by coming into right relationship with those around you. All your gifts are at hand, so obvious that you may have missed them. Be true with your intentions and do not be led astray by daydreams. So to me, what this tells me is that your family, you come from a long line of, it feels like people that have worked through like their energy centers, like and maybe even like Reiki healing or something like that, something to do with the energy centers in your bodies. So you come from a family of colorful, creative, energy, people that can feel energy. Are you somebody that has been able to tap into and or see perhaps people's auras, energy healing, anything along that lines? So let's see what else the rest of the cards say, because that's going to give me more of a better understanding too as we move along. So the next question is, what is the hidden thread? So what ancestral gift or magical ability has been passed down? Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. What ancestral gift or magical ability has been passed down to you, consciously or unconsciously? So this may uncover clairvoyance, energy healing, dream walking, herbal knowledge, ritual crafting, or blood-bound intuition. And I drew 2 cards for you. Chakra work. You're being called to examine and uncover the energy imbalances and blockages of the chakra system with the goal of healing and spiritual awareness. So you are definitely somebody, because we've got 2 here, that deals with all of the different colors and energies in the body. So like the energy parts in the body, I feel like there's healing. You are a major healer, but through like those Eastern modalities of like the different energy vortexes in the body that you have, that your family line had a very good understanding of those, and that you probably are very good at staying very balanced within your own chakra system. And what do we got here? Psychocartography. You are being to explore connections to places through the land, ley lines, meridian, latitudinal and longitudinal matrices by reading about the land. Okay, I am getting a really big picture here. Not only do you work in the energies of the actual body itself, but you work in the energies of Mama Gaia. Okay, so it's almost like you can feel the vortexes, not just in human beings, but in the earth itself. You can feel like strong energy at the ley lines. I mean, you can like feel it, right? And you can feel also like, so along with this, it makes me feel like you have a strong understanding of like when you walk into a house perhaps, and if there's ghosts there, you can pick up on their energy. If you go to a place like, let's say, Sedona, you pick up on that energy very strongly. You pick up on different energy vortexes. So let's see what else comes in along with this. So the next thing I asked is the shadowed legacy. So what ancestral wound or karmic patterns needs healing or alchemy through me? So it says your ancestors may show you pain, denial, or forgotten truths that you're here to transmute and reclaim. And these are the cards that I got for you. Let me... So first we have the Hierophant and the Universe. So teaching others about universal energies. This is what this definitely feels like, right? But with that comes great friggin' responsibility, right? And picking up. So I'm also picking up like empathic abilities, which sometimes are extremely difficult to differentiate beyond your own energy. Sometimes you're so good at picking up other people's energy because you feel it so strongly. But we also got the returning card, and this is out of the Stone and Shadow Oracle. And this is what it says. I choose the door that opens a path spiraling down and in and back into the primordial chasm between past and present, this world and the beginning. That was actually the destination all along. Yes. With great power comes great responsibility. So it's like a cyclical, I'm really feeling this spiraling thing, because it's saying that the beginning or the ending, this world, and that a beginning that was actually the destination all along. So in the world, you see like the Ouroboros eating its own tail kind of thing. Not in this particular one, or is it? Looks just like a wreath, but many times it is like the Ouroboros eating its own tail. This one's like spiral, and what I'm picking up is like the golden ratio. And so really seeing patterns and things, right? Here, seeing the energy, it's all of it. I can see where that could be a curse sometimes, right? Because of where I could see that this could cause maybe physical problems, where you hold on to energy that isn't yours or not cleansing enough. So it causes physical ailments in your body. Perhaps what I'm seeing is like a fibromyalgia, or something like that actually attacks like your nervous system, because of all of the energy that's always coursing through it. Because you're not only just picking up on the people's energy, you're picking up on the earth's vortexes and energies, and that also includes like past traumas and stuff like that. So I could see you taking on other past traumas that have happened in an area that you're in. So the next part of it is the torchbearer. How can I consciously honor and activate my magical inheritance in this lifetime? So practical advice or mystical ritual guidance, that your role as a lineage holder. So how to embody your gifts with intention. So I pulled 3 cards from the Clarity deck. It is Gift of Virtue Clarity deck. And we got, so relevance, a glow is in the work, traceable connection between action and meaning, purposeful effort. And we've got scrutiny, the pen is mightier than the sword, critical observation, examination or inspection to review, check or verify, and enjoyment. A joy shared is happiness doubled, taking pleasure or experiencing gratification, delighting or relishing. So what this tells me is you have to understand exactly what energies that you are picking up. You have to understand if it's something that you are picking up of other persons or whether or not it's yours. So you have to scrutinize, right? You have to really critically observe what is going on in your body, health issues, the energies that are around you. And one of the ways that we can cleanse ourselves, so to me, this is speaking of constantly you have to clean yourself. The best way that you can activate this, because you already have this energy, but the best way that you can really facilitate it working properly through you is to constantly cleanse yourself. So get into some sort of ritual of cleansing yourself from, like, as a Reiki practitioner myself, they do teach like a, where you're cutting off the energy. And as someone who is not actually always performing, it's just you naturally are an antenna for these kind of things. And maybe even being in somebody else's presence, you can help align their chakras with your own energy. Unless, of course, you're not taking care of yourself. So, cleansing that stagnant energy or that energy that can make you sick, that you are picking up of other people's traumas or what do I want to call it? Like blockages, stuff like that. So one of the ways that you can also like cleanse your palate is by just enjoying the things that you enjoy in your life, and laugh and love and dance and have like a ritual that you maybe do that is involving something that has to do with having fun, whether that is playing video games, whether that is listening to music, whether that is getting up and dancing, whatever it is. Do more of that, because that is going to help cleanse your palate a little bit. And then we've got one last thing, which is the Spirit's Whisper. What message do my ancestors have for me right now? So this is a direct download, a loving warning, a blessing, a confirmation. Let this card speak as the voice of your elders through the veil. So what I got for that is group mind. This is the message, group mind. So, I mean, already I'm getting a hit that is telling me that your ancestors are there to help you, okay? To help teach you how to, like, turn it down when you need to turn it down, and how to turn it up, like, if you are trying to assess, like, the energy. But that you definitely need to know how to do this for yourself if you don't know this already. But I want to read what this message is for you. And this is out of the Divine Muses, okay? So the essence of the group mind is, the group mind card, in its essence, shows a group's energy full of positive emotion and spirit, giving birth to a powerful movement. A momentum is created when an idea that was once an individual's take on a life of its own. So the power of individuals coming together to form a group becomes more potent and energized. The individual, oh, I'm getting another picture too. Oh, wow. Okay. The individual no longer possesses the power to withdraw the momentum and attention. So if you have pulled this card, it urges you to either promote a cause that you deeply care about or join a movement that you strongly believe in. We are stronger together than alone. Occult lodges, church congregations, and successful organizations know the power of the group mind. So when one thinks of any object with emotion, force is poured forth. If a number of people are thinking of the same object with emotion, their attention concentrated on their feelings, exalted by the ritual of the ceremony, they are pouring into a common pool no inconsiderable measure of subtle force. It is this force which forms the basis of the manifestation of whatever potency is being invoked. So to me, what this means really is that, like I said, your ancestors are there to help you. But I feel like you are also being called to not just cleanse people, but to cleanse actually, like I was talking about houses, you know, but and places. Because it feels like you are meant to be cleansing houses of bad energies, and cleansing like the land of bad energies, and that you do not have to do it alone. Tap into and get some sort of ritual with your ancestors, because this runs heavily in your ancestral line. So pull on your ancestors for help in this. This is what I'm picking up. This was your reading for pile 1. I hope it resonated. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. So, pile number 2, this is your reading. I will put a timestamp down below. So this is the first card that you got. And this one is all about the root. So what is the origin or key theme of my family's spiritual, or your family's spiritual and or magical lineage? So this card reveals the ancient core. I'm sorry, let me find this. This card reveals the ancient core of your bloodline's esoteric energy. Think shamanic roots, priestess traditions, healing arts, or sacred rebellion. So you got Beauty Way. And so what this says for the essence, the Beauty Way is both a path that you travel on and a daily practice. The path is where you choose to perceive only beauty before you, behind you, and all around you as you journey through life. The practice is where you take action to bring beauty to every situation that you are in. When things get ugly, you act to bring integrity and peace to the difficult encounter. When everyone else perceives only darkness, you point out the light and help uncover the hidden treasures. The invitation. The Beauty Way invites you to create beauty in your life and to recognize the beauty inside yourself and in others. Stop to smell the roses. Take a deep breath. Look up at the stars and recognize the splendor that surrounds you. See the beauty in whatever situation that you find yourself in, and you will receive the lessons that life is teaching you in a kind and gentle way. The medicine. Let me bring this up a little bit larger so you can see it. Isn't that beautiful? So the medicine is to stop trying to fix relationships that you believe are broken. Recognize that things are exactly as they need to be in this moment and acknowledge the inherent beauty in that. When you understand this, that you will be able to bring about the change that you want. Do not engage in gossip about the darkness and flaws of others. Be careful not to be seduced by the superficial beauty of a project or relationship that you are toying with, unless you are willing to pay a price for it later. So for me, as I said, this is something, what is the origin or the key theme of your family's spiritual or magical lineage? It's about bringing beauty and understanding and light to this world. So where others, like it said, where others see darkness, you see light, you see a way out. You're a solution kind of person. So I think that's all about your family lineage DNA. So perhaps your family lineage has something to do with also decorating and finding beauty in the places where other people won't find beauty. Find the beauty in the lessons and in the hard things, because that's where true growth comes from. Maybe your family understood that. That's what I'm feeling like. Maybe your mother or your father or their mother and father and on and on and on understood about how life's hard lessons are the beauty of growth. And I'm feeling something along the lines of like having an eye for like decor or beauty, even when it comes to a home, making sacred spaces, being really good at creating a sacred space, you know, and maybe also helping others to create sacred spaces. So perhaps you're a decorator or somebody that has a really good eye for aesthetics. I'm also seeing that. So the next question is the hidden thread. So what ancestral gift or magical ability has been passed down to you, consciously or unconsciously? So this may uncover clairvoyance, energy healing, dream walking, herbal knowledge, ritual crafting, or bloodbound intuition. And these are what I got for you. Clairvoyance and psychometry. Oh my goodness. So you're being called to explore what you see in your mind's eye, whether that is the past, present, or future. These mental impressions have much to share. So again, clairvoyance is clear seeing, beauty way, okay? So you have clear sight, clear spiritual sight. And then we bring in psychometry. You're being called to sense and read the vibrations of objects and people through touch to connect to memories of the past. So see, also talking about creating sacred space and finding beauty in things. Well, that comes from actually seeing the history in things, right? And how like stories unfold. If you are somebody that does help to decorate or bring aesthetics in, perhaps you understand the energy of where to place things. It's almost, I'm seeing like a feng shui kind of thing here also. Like the beauty in placement and in your surroundings and creating sacred space for yourself and for others. These are your magical gifts. You have these. Regardless of whether or not you think that you've had these, you do have these. These are in your bloodline. So, the next card, or the next question is the shadowed legacy. So what ancestral wound or karmic pattern needs healing or alchemy through you? So your ancestors may show you pain, denial, or forgotten truths that you are here to transmute and reclaim. So for you, I got the Moon, the Tower, wow, and the Knight of Wands. So let me find the Moon. Now this is out of the Stone and Shadow Oracle, and this is the Relative Tarot. So this is what it says for the Moon. I walk the unlit path, guided only by the unseen rhythms of waxing and waning, clear even in the midnight void, empty space between ebb and flow, earth turning, tides rising, body unraveling into instinct and feeling, pointing to that orb in the clouds, that wisdom deep below, leading me on. With the Tower and Knight of Wands. Again, I feel like this is talking about your ability to transmute harsh events like tower moments in our life into opportunities for growth and moving forward on our paths with a strong passion to add beauty and understanding and acceptance and compassion, being a bridge of beauty, really being somebody that understands that as an earthly person, even though we might be starseeds or what have you, that we are here to learn and grow. We don't normally just learn and grow when everything's just wonderful. It is those hard moments, the tower moments, where if we can find the beauty in the moment and the understanding, that's where the true growth comes in, right? So I almost feel like, I'm also picking up not on just this sacred space, but also creating a sacred space inside of people, meaning helping them to find a sacred space within. So therapy of some sort, spiritual coach of some sort, something like that, to help them transmute the problems that they have been through. And I feel like this is something that your family suffered with, not always being able to see a light at the end of the rainbow, or not being able to see a light at the end of the darkness, but you do. You have this ability to do that. Now it's time to step up and do that if you're not already. And it's by beautifying, and by beautifying the outside and the inside is what that feels like to me. So the next prompt is the Torchbearer. So how can you consciously honor and activate your magical inheritance in this lifetime? So this is practical advice or mystical ritual guidance for your role as a lineage holder. So how for you to embody your gifts with intention. And so out of the Gift of Virtue Clarity deck, I drew 3 cards for you. Let's see what these are. So transparency, what you see is what you get. Absence of deception, disclosure of information, honest communication. Exactly. You're clairvoyant. So when somebody tells you a lie, you see it, okay? You see beyond the illusion of things because of your clear sight, okay? That doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that you don't see the darkness. You do, but you transmute that into something understanding and compassionate, yada, yada, yada. You get where I'm going with this, right? Ambition, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Desire and determination to achieve a goal, aspiration for success. So, honor yourself by seeking the things, finding the beauty in things. Honor your magical inheritance by going for the things that you truly want to go for. There is no shame in that. Absolutely not. It is okay to want more. And you know how to do it. You do have that gift. You have clear sight. So it's not just a dream. It's your intuition. It's your ancestors are nudging you, okay? And then the last one is diligence. Don't put off for tomorrow what could be done today. Conscientiousness, careful attention, and follow through with tasks. So absolutely, this kind of falls right in line with ambition. I feel like, and I could be off base here, but it feels like you have had clear things that you want to do. Remember, these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But I feel like you are somebody that has had clear goals, and sometimes you have those that are around you that say, well, that's not practical, you can't do that. I'm telling you, don't listen to that, right? It's saying go for it. The way that you activate that is by sometimes taking a risk and knowing your own value and knowing your own abilities of clairvoyance, right? Clear sight. You have clear sight of what to do next. And then the spirits whisper. What message do your ancestors have for you right now? This is a direct download. It is a loving warning, a blessing, or a confirmation. Let this card speak as a voice of your elders through the veil. And for you, I got, let me bring it up. Muse of Dance. This is what it says for the Muse of Dance. If you have drawn the Muse of Dance, it's time to get moving into a rhythm with your body. Turn on some music and allow your body to be inspired by the cadence and beat of the sound. Follow your body's lead and invite your movements to be big or small without judgment or worry that you're doing it wrong. You're not. Feel the rhythm in your body and let it be a space where you can find healing. Relax, breathe through it, have fun. Terpsichore, the patron of dance. Oh, this card is a representation of the Greek muse, Terpsichore, the patron of dance. Her name means delight in dancing. In ancient Greece, mastering the art of dance was an important custom though men and women did not dance together. Rather, they danced in separate circles with their own sex. Plato believed that people should master the art of singing and dancing. He believed that a good soldier must know how to dance. Plato insisted that all of the arts, including theater, music, and poetry, be part of the educational system for the youth of his time. He believed that the arts strongly influenced personal behavior and thought that they helped harmonize a person's soul. So for me, I think that your ancestors are just telling you, if you want to receive more insight from them and feel them more closely, just get up, maybe close your eyes. Make sure it's safe to close your eyes, where you're not going to run into stuff, and you have a little bit of an open area, maybe an open field somewhere, maybe in the moonlight, maybe in the sunlight, whatever. Maybe in the moon. Dance under the moon and invite your ancestors in so that they can help you with whatever it is that you are trying to do for your future, right? I do feel, like I said, it has something to do with outside beauty and inside beauty. It's both. But your family definitely understood, or it's in your lineage, how to beautify the world. It's in your DNA. And when I mean DNA, I don't mean like as in it's just in your blood. I mean that you are an antenna for it. That's what I mean. So it is okay to be ambitious. Don't let anybody tell you different, and be diligent about what it is that you're going forward with. And remember that your ancestors are always with you. To feel them more strongly, dance, move your body, feel them, feel the rhythm of it. They're there waiting for you. Okay, this has been your reading, pile number 2. I hope that it has resonated. Take whatever resonates and leave the rest behind. Thank you so much. And pile number 3, this is your reading. So, For the first prompt, we have the root. This is what is the origin or key theme of your family's spiritual or magical lineage. So this card reveals the ancient core of your bloodline's esoteric energy. Think shamanic roots, think priestess traditions, healing arts, or sacred rebellion. So what we have here is wind. So this card is out of the Mystical Shaman's Oracle. And for wind, the essence is the symbol of the wind represents the element of air. It rules communication, thought, song, and inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities both positive and negative. The wind blows from each of the 4 directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. South, carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. West is calling you to be more introspective, to a willingness to make final decisions, to let go of attachments and ego desires. North is moving to bring you wisdom and strength, and East is carrying clarity of vision and purpose. So whichever way the wind is blowing for you, the message which the wind whispers or shouts is a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but you will find exaltation in moving toward it and receiving its lesson. So the invitation is, when the spirit of the wind comes calling, it's a sign of change. Perhaps you need to change your mind about something. Perhaps an old way of doing things has become automatic. And now that you've gained greater clarity, you can make a new choice. Regardless of what the change is, you can expect to be understood and to have clear communication with others at this time. Ideas are solid, and the shift that is being called for is in the highest good of all. And then the medicine that is associated with this card is, when wind comes as medicine, you're being invited to recognize the value of chaos. Windstorms provide necessary chaos to clear the air and spread seeds so that plants and trees can take root in new fields. Right now, it may seem as if your world has been turned upside down, but this is a temporary storm that will blow over. Perhaps communication has broken down between you and another, or your many to-do lists are overwhelming you. The medicine is to simplify, slow down, course correct if you need to, and wait out the storm to clean things up. Just know that all storms have great value if you can maintain neutral during their course. So greater clarity and good things will come from it all. Remember, this too shall pass. So for me, this is talking about, when I think of wind, and obviously communication, but this also feels like communication with like your ancestors, right? So good communication skills with the afterlife. Okay, this is what this feels like to me, that you have the ability to communicate, whether it be through your dreams, whether it be through meditation. You have the ability to communicate with deceased loved ones, with other spirits in general. You have this ability. So this is something that has been like the theme of your family. So perhaps you have seers or mediums in your family line. Perhaps prophetic dreaming. We'll see what else these abilities that come in. So the next prompt is, what ancestral gift or magical ability has been passed down to you, consciously or unconsciously? So this may uncover clairvoyance, energy healing, dream walking, herbal knowledge, ritual crafting, or bloodbound intuition. And for you, I got astral travels and spiritual engineer. So you're being called to communicate with spirits, entities, and guides in astral realms to retrieve and share the message. Exactly. This made me feel like mediumship. okay? You are getting messages. So if you are a kind of person, maybe you know this already, but maybe you don't. Maybe you're getting messages in your dreams and you're thinking that it's just a dream. No, you're truly getting messages. This is something that is in your family line. We've got spiritual engineer here. You are called to explore using your problem-solving skills and your knowledge of spirituality, psychology, and science to bring much-needed solutions. Exactly. This also feels like communication, right? So to me, this feels like helping others find solutions through your own mediumship. Okay, this doesn't just mean with your ancestors, but this means helping others to connect with their ancestors and or past loved ones, or somebody that is hanging around them, or somebody that's in their house, whatever. You have the ability and your family had the ability. Now, whether you recognize this yet, that only you know this, okay? Only you know this. The next question is the shadowed legacy. So what ancestral wound or karmic pattern needs healing or alchemy through you? So this is like you clearing like your ancestors' wounds, okay? This is your ancestors may show you pain, denial, or forgotten truths that you're here to transmute and reclaim. So the cards that I got for you are, out of the Relative Tarot, I got the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. And out of the, what's the name of this? The Stone and Shadow Oracle, I got Memory. Oh, how interesting. So for Memory, now remember, this is, this is something that is shadowed in your lineage. So, out from the hardened hollows, empty but for echoes, the echoes of a life long gone, an emergence. Yes, ancient memory pressed in stone holds the spark of something hoped for after all. Keep walking, beloved. Each step, press seed into earth, a future alive under your feet. The story is far from finished. Yes. Ace of Swords, yeah, communication, thought patterns, thought processes, Knight of Pentacles. So my guess is that your family has had a history of having these abilities, obviously, but being shunned for these abilities. So it's almost like hardwired in you to not reveal these things or to second guess yourself because it's not something that has been talked about with all of the generations of your ancestry. I feel like almost like witchy stuff, meaning like being punished for having abilities like this. Memory. I feel like you have this ability to not just communicate with spirits and, you know, this mediumship, but they are also showing you, like, maybe even the ability to do past life stuff. Communicating past life information. Yeah. But I do feel like, honestly, what they're saying is that in the past, there was persecution in your family line for having these kinds of abilities. And that there's always caution about being careful about who you reveal this to, right? That was like almost like hardwired in your family line. So the next set of questions is the torchbearer. So how can you consciously honor and activate your magical inheritance in this lifetime? So practical advice or mystical ritual guidance. So for your role as a lineage holder, how do you embody your gifts with intention? And I drew from the gift of virtue clarity deck 3 cards for you. And those 3 cards are profundity, truth is stranger than fiction, depth of knowledge, having great insight, wisdom beyond intellect. Yeah, so trust in what you're getting, because it is stranger than fiction, right? Don't second guess what you're getting. What you are getting is true messages from the other side. You are truly a naturally born medium. It runs in your family. Serenity. The boon of silence is tranquility, right? Because you're constantly always picking up on this stuff. You've probably got so much chaos going on in your mind all the time because of what you're picking up. You're thinking maybe sometimes that it's mental issues of some sort, but it's truly communication. State of being calm, peaceful, and untroubled, a clear coast or conscience. So this is saying that you need to ground yourself. One of the best ways that you can continue being able to work in this or be able to tap into it is learning like a rich practice of calming the mind, or turning it down when you need to and turning it up when you need to. And sportsmanship. Competition is the, what is that? The whetstone of talent. So fair treatment and contest, respect for the integrity of a match or challenge. So this is saying don't cheat the systems, essentially, because you have this understanding, this knowledge. Just be a team player, more or less. It's interesting. You don't have to feel like you have to compete with other people, more or less. You don't have to think that somebody else is more psychic than you because of the way that they perceive things, or because everybody's gifts come in different ways. So it's not a competition. Respect the manner in which you are receiving these messages. Honor them and understand that it is real communication, okay? And then the last bit is the Spirit's whisper. This is a message by your ancestors for you right now. What message do your ancestors have for you right now? This is a direct download, a loving warning, or a blessing, a confirmation. Let this card speak as a voice of your elders through the veil. And what I got for you was Green Goddess. So the Green Goddess is, wherever there is nature, you will find the Green Goddess. She is the beauty and verdancy of the forest, where one might spot a woodland creature. She is the flowers, the herbs, and the ecosystem. You can find her in your garden or in your cup of tea. She is plant medicine. There is a healing quality in her nature. This card's presence is asking that you take a break from the screens and get outdoors. Go for a hike in the woods or a walk through an open field. The day-to-day grind can have an adverse effect on your mind, which eventually affects your health. Okay, so I feel like what they're also telling you is part of the reason that you feel so much chaos sometimes and you need a place of serenity, because people think that you can only pick up energies of others when they're in your vicinity. That is not true. If you are online with other people, you can pick up their energies. I can most certainly pick up their energies, whether whether somebody leaves a comment, whether I'm watching somebody else's video, whether they're watching mine and leaving a comment, whether or not we're in a FaceTime chat or just chatting in general. You can feel the energy. Really, there is truly no space. So if you are so plugged into the news and to social media, it's going to feel chaotic because, of course, you are a medium. You are picking up on not just everybody else's, but also maybe perhaps the spirits that are around them. So you need to unplug. So there are numerous ways to find a health-giving respite, perhaps as easy as stepping away for a nourishing cup of herbal tea. Get into your body, ground into nature, play in your garden, breathe in the fresh air with a hike in the woods, smoke a joint even if that's your medicine. Okay, so if it's legal, I have to say that for my channel, okay? Connect with nature in any way that brings you peace. Don't forget to partake in the plethora of fruit and vegetables that grow on the earth, especially green vegetables. Chlorophyll gives many vegetables their green color, and when consumed, boosts energy and improves health. So vegetables that are particularly rich in chlorophyll are spinach, wheatgrass, spirulina, alfalfa, asparagus, and broccoli. I bet you didn't know you were going to get diet advice today, did you? Eat as much as you can of these every day to reap their healthful benefits. Another thing about being a medium or being around energy that is not your own, spirit energy that is not your own, is it can take a toll on your body. So perhaps they are telling you part of the problems that you might be having, if you are having physical problems, you know, like anything that is like causing you a current ailment, or maybe you're somebody that seems to get sick every single time you turn around, ear infections, eye infections, you know, sore throat, cough, whatever. It could be because of the spirit activity that's around you. So eat a lot of greens because it helps ground you from all of that spirit activity. So also going out into nature, taking your shoes off, walking in nature, grounding yourself back to Mama Gaia in between the moments that you are picking up all of that activity. So the Greek goddess is the lucky card of this pack. When you pull, or the green goddess, when you pull this card, know that your luck is about to change. This card is a message to be open to the abundance in your life. So much is on offer for your best and healthy self right now. If you can but partake of it with balance and awareness, resources will be available if you need them. Trust that there is enough and that the earth will provide for you. Yeah, so I feel like your ancestors are saying, this is something that we've had the ability to do for a very long time, even if we didn't tell you about it, okay? But one of the reasons why we also suffer from maybe chronic illness of some sort is because of these mediumship abilities and being around spirits, and you need to replenish by grounding yourself and eating a lot of leafy greens or fruits and veggies, right, in order to restore your health back to what it should be in between moments of picking up all of that mediumship. So this has been your reading, pile number 4. This is your reading. So the first question was the root. So what is the origin or key theme of your family's spiritual or magical lineage? So this card reveals the ancient core of your bloodline's esoteric energy. Think shamanic roots, priestess traditions, healing arts, or sacred rebellion. And this is the card that I got for you. So the first card is the eagle, right? The eagle. So let's see what it says. This is out of the Mystical Shaman's Oracle. So it says that the essence, eagle comes from the east, the place of the rising sun, of new beginnings. She soars high in the sky, sees the smallest detail with clarity without losing track of the bigger picture, and nests in the high mountains. For eagle, there is no obstacles, only opportunities. She calls you to ascend, to acquire perspective, so you can fly wing to wing with Great Spirit. The invitation. Have you become trapped in your daily routine and feel that you do not know where you go and what to do next? Have you lost your sense of purpose? Eagle invites you to take a deep breath and spread your wings. When was the last time that you opened them? Eagle reminds you that your spirit was born to soar to the heavens. As you contemplate choices, ask yourself, do I want to live in a chicken coop, sheltered from life, counting the regular feedings, or do I want to soar like an eagle? If your answer is the latter, you then you must accept Eagle's invitation and embrace the courage that will help you choose freedom, the medicine. It is time to see through the eyes of Eagle. Let your vision of the whole and of its parts become laser-like and set your priorities straight. What did you come to do in this life? Did you come to climb up the ladder of financial or social success? Did you come to become a better person, to heal your heart, and to realize your essential self? What is your divine mission here on earth? No more excuses. Of course, you do not have to have enough time, enough money, or enough sleep. Yet the time is now to fly to your chosen purpose. If you postpone it, you are betraying yourself. Look through the eyes of the eagle and consider every obstacle and opportunity. Where you set your intention is where you'll end up. So free yourself and live your highest destiny. Fly. So for me, what this is saying is that your family lineage or magical lineage or spiritual lineage is about being able to see the bigger picture, right? Being able to rise above the muck of everyday living and see what lessons. So your family has the ability to see a bigger picture in this. And maybe that helped them plan a little bit better. Or maybe the lineage was that you didn't do that, or that they didn't do that, I should say. But either way, it's saying rise above, right? Get a bird's eye view. Look beyond. So to me, this is more like middle path. Not that your family was more like middle path people. They didn't want to take sides in any situation. I could be wrong, and maybe it's your earlier ancestors. I'm not sure. But I feel like it's saying that in order to walk the middle path, you have to have a bird's eye view, because it brings about understanding, right? It brings about a bigger picture view. So we'll see what the other cards, reveal, and it'll unfold itself a little bit better. So we'll see. The second card is the hidden thread. What ancestral gift or magical ability has been passed down to you, consciously or unconsciously? So this may uncover clairvoyance, energy healing, dream walking, herbal knowledge, ritual crafting, or blood-bound intuition. And for you, I got... Oh my goodness, right. Oh, okay. So, spiritual writer, you're being called to explore, sharing knowledge, insight, and wisdom through written words to bring clarity and healing. And astrology, right? You're being called to explore astrology to gain deeper insights revealed by planetary positions for a deeper understanding of the soul's journey. Bird's eye view, bigger view, right? Oh gosh. So, are you somebody that is very much into astrology? Maybe you're somebody that writes charts, and if you're not somebody that does that, you probably should be somebody that does that. Your family's ability to see the bigger pictures. Perhaps it was talking about your ancestry is you were stargazers, right? Maybe this is also talking about star family in general, not just this earthly, but a star family in general. And write about your experiences, write about your perspective. Maybe write a book on astrology. We'll see more about what the other cards reveal, but feels like there is a lot that you could have to say about the topic of like following the stars, and maybe even mixed in with past life stuff, spiritual ancestry, right? So let's see what the next cards say. So the shadowed legacy. This is your ancestral wound or karmic pattern that needs healing or alchemy through you. So it is you that has come into this life in order to kind of right the wrongs or heal the wounds from your ancestry. So your ancestors may show you pain, denial, or forgotten truths that you're here to transmute and reclaim. And so for you, I got wow. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I got the Oracle out of the Stone and Shadow, along with the Strength and the Nine of Swords. So what the Oracle says is you can't see the futures meant for the us, the horizons reaching for us, through the same eyes that led us here. Destiny demands another vision. You must become the Oracle, the one who knows by seeing vaster, deeper, beyond, into the void. I think that's it. No, into the cosmos, into the center of everything and back again, carrying it all into the quiet deep within, into the arms of the seer who knows. Oh my gosh. This again feels like more, yes, astrology, right? Astronomy, seeking the actual universe and cosmos, and finding the strength to overcome like depression or setbacks, helping your family to overcome setbacks and maybe, you know, like mental, some sort of like anguish, anxiety, panic attacks, things like that, finding inner strength to just reveal what you reveal, seeing what you see. Now, I'm also seeing maybe perhaps this ability that you have hasn't always been accepted, okay? So, like, having people around you saying that astrology is, you know, there's no value in it, it's just a pseudoscience, there's nothing to it, and you saying, oh, but there is, right? I don't know. I do feel like because of your ability to see larger patterns, cosmic patterns, things like that, omens in the sky, stuff like that, that it can also have caused turmoil for your family members. And they had to find inner strength to look beyond like the setbacks of life and look at the bigger picture of what it was unfolding. But having a spiritual eye for these things, because you cannot unsee what you see, right? So that's what that feels like to me. So the next prompt is the Torchbearer. So how can you consciously honor and activate your magical inheritance in this lifetime? So this is practical advice or mystical ritual guidance for your role as a lineage holder, how you can embody your gifts with intention. And so I drew from the Gift of Virtue Clarity deck 3 cards for you. Yes, oh my goodness. So the first one is subtlety. A blessing in disguise, soft or muted, understated expression, not overbearing. Okay, unity. The force of union conquers all, so joining desperate parts together as one, converging as a whole. And then the third one, integrity. Bear witness to your own inclusion. State of being whole and undivided, right relation between symbiotic parts. So what I'm getting from this is, gosh, are you somebody that practices in true sidereal astrology as well? Or a different system that is not mainstream? Because I feel like because of your ability to see beyond and see the bigger picture, right? And a bird's eye view, that you have had people come at you. I know I have experienced the same thing. So it's saying you don't have to be somebody that's overpowering. You don't have to, like me and call it fake news and stuff like that. You don't have to be like that. You can just simply have integrity, bear witness to your own inclusion, meaning just say what you're going to do and do it. Have integrity in your words, have integrity in your actions, right? And you can do that softly. You don't have to bulldoze it for anybody. And from that, you will find more unity. You'll get more bees with honey, more or less, right? Rather than other things, essentially. So the last thing is the Spirit's Whisper. What message do your ancestors have for you right now? So this is a direct download. This is a loving warning or a blessing or a confirmation. Let this card speak as the voice of your elders through the veil. And for you, I got the World Weaver. Again, this feels like being able to see bigger pictures, bigger energies, bird's eye view of things that are happening in the world, right? It's like not just in people's daily lives, but in the world's, what's going on there. So this is what it says for the World Weaver. It says storytelling, wisdom, cause and effect, and patience. Storyteller, right? Spiritual writer. The World Weaver embodies the spirit of creation and is represented by the spider totem, which is generally regarded as feminine energy that creates and destroys. Spider is said in some cultures to have created the universe. It is also said to hold the wisdom of the world, as seen in Anansi, the West African spider god of stories and wisdom. The World Weaver is asking you to draw from your well of wisdom and compose a story or over. I'm not even sure about that name. You may already be creating something of significance. The World Weaver is affirming your gift as a writer or storyteller. This card also points to journaling as a way to record your experiences for future recollection or for assistance in visualizing and attaining personal goals. So you can create an entry about something that you want to manifest. If you could be a list of characteristics, and qualities for the ideal job or career. It could be. So refer to the list, imagining all the details of the situation and believing that you will attain it without obstacle. This is one way to enact the Hermetic principle of cause and effect, which says that whatever you can imagine with your mind's eye can and will be materialized. So this is magic making, choosing how to shape your world. Actually look around. Everything in your life exists because you put it there. So you are the creator of your personal universe. Reflect on this. You will find it is true. The Hermetic masters knew how to rise above the plane of the game of life to become the movers instead of the pawns. The World Weaver reminds us that we are the center of our own story. We can weave it however we want. It may be time to consider the kind of web/life that you are building for yourself. You are creating your reality, whether you realize it or not. Every choice that you make becomes a sentence in your personal life story. So the spider spinning her web is a metaphor for storytelling. We see the storyteller in this card, but it is also closely linked with the networker archetype because the World Weaver expertly threads the connections between people. Indra's net in Buddhist philosophy describes the interconnection of all things existing together on a web. Each knot of this web possesses a jewel or pearl, and each pearl represents every idea, event, and phenomenon that has ever existed. Another message from this card is to be patient, like the spider who waits on her web. Sometimes we can be so restless that we take unnecessary actions too soon. Your situation may just require that you wait. You will know when to take action because it will land in your web. In other words, the resolution will just present itself, so be patient. And this feels like also the subtlety, right? So, like I said, you don't have to be loud about it. You can be a voice of reason and integrity and keep moving forward. But this definitely feels like bigger picture stuff here going on, that you have the ability to see bigger pictures and that you should be writing about it. It feels like astrology, of course, to me. Eagle's eye, web weaver. It definitely feels like there's something astrological here, or cosmos big kind of energy. So this has been your reading, pile 4. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I thank you for spending this time with me. I hope it resonates, and I'm sending you love always.